Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dr. Tiffany, chiropractor and holistic health and life coach. Today I'd like to discuss something that's plaguing our community, and it's unfortunately very sad. If you've been able to read any type of news regarding current events, or maybe you follow a current events page on your social media, or you watch the news sparingly, and I do say sparingly because we know what the media's goal is, you probably have seen an article or a video regarding a woman losing her life during childbirth. And it's sad because this is happening more often than not. And so we first have to ask ourselves, why? Well, the reason why we are losing our lives during childbirth is because more women are being forced to have a C-section. And when I say forced, I mean that the doctor will tell you, you need to have a C-section for whatever reason, so we're going to schedule it for this date. When in all actuality, the reason may not be true, but they want to operate from a place of convenience, right? They don't want to be held accountable and asked to wake up at 3, 4, and 5 o'clock in the morning to come and deliver a baby, like they used to do in the 80s or the 90s, and even maybe the early 2000s. But now the doctors, of course, want convenience. Also, they make more money when a woman has a C-section because that is a major surgery versus a woman being able to deliver vaginally. And are these motives right? Absolutely not. And as a result of that, a lot of women, or more than we would like, are now starting to lose their life. It's extremely sad. And we have to make sure that we are doing everything that we can. So how can we fix this problem? Well, the first thing that we can do is try to find a midwife instead of an OBGYN. And you may say, why? A lot of midwives practice using a more holistic approach, right? And they want you to be able to go through the process naturally. They understand the benefits of childbirth vaginally, both for mom and baby. And they are there to advocate for you. They do work under a physician, but the physician is not the primary provider. And the reason why I recommend a midwife is because of, one, like I mentioned, they do practice a more natural and holistic method. But for two, they're going to try to honor your wishes as much as they can, except for in the case of emergency, right? Then, of course, if you are in danger, mom, or the baby is in danger, we have to do what we have to do. But as long as everything is okay, then the midwife is going to honor your request. The second thing that you can do is hire a doula or retain a doula. Most of the time, midwives and doulas work together because they do typically practice similarly. Now, doulas aren't able to deliver a baby or make any type of diagnosis or clinical decisions, but they are there to support you throughout the duration of your pregnancy and also when you are going into labor, right? When you create that birth plan, you want to be able to stick with it, and the doula will be able to make sure that you are able to do so as long as it is safe for you and the baby. Now, keep in mind that doulas aren't always going to agree with the treatment plan or your birthing plan if there's something going on. And the midwife won't either, but with regard to just an overall general perspective, yes, they are there to carry out your wishes. They're also there to hold you accountable. So if you say, I don't want to have an epidural or I want to be able to deliver naturally, they're going to remind you of that when it is time, because oftentimes the pain can be so intense that we forget. But the doula is there not only to hold the staff, hospital staff accountable, but also to help you stay on track and support you throughout the process. And with regard to the midwives and the doula, oftentimes, if you are someone who wants to, let's just say, have a home birth or a water birth, that's what they will advocate for most of the time. So they are able to clearly articulate what you would like to the nursing staff and to the doctor that's on staff, and going to make sure that that happens. Another issue that we often see is, of course, they believe that we don't experience pain, right? Compared to, let's just say, our Caucasian counterparts or any other race. And that's the furthest thing from the truth. We experience pain just like everybody else. But due to their misconception in thinking that we don't feel the pain, they are more hesitant to give us something to help alleviate the pain, and that's not fair. So again, the doula is there, the midwife is there for that as well. And when you have a home birth or you have a water birth, the doula and the midwife are there to support you every step of the way. And in the event that something does happen, the midwife is able to call the paramedics or say, hey, this probably isn't the best route to go right now for whatever reason. So they will make sure that you are sent to the hospital, admitted, and receive the proper care. So you have someone there that is willing to advocate for you. And I'm not sure if you know this, but as long as they know that you don't know, they're going to do whatever it is that they want to do. When you have someone there who's advocating for you, and also you are advocating for yourself, then it makes the process a lot easier, and you won't have to deal with a lot of things that most women deal with because they don't have that support. And unfortunately, America has the highest C-section rate in the world, and it's extremely sad. And the numbers are increasing each and every day. But what you don't see in the news as much is the fact that other women are dying during childbirth. It seems like it's more so us and not them. And this is just the truth of the matter. Not trying to offend anybody, but what I'm trying to do is educate you all, my sisters, because a lot of people don't understand how this works and why it's happening. So we don't want an OBGYN who is selfish and inconsiderate and wants to deliver the baby on their own timeline. We want someone who's fully invested in the process, and they will support you as long as it's safe. Now, this isn't to say that all OBGYNs are like this, because that's not true. But more than less, or more likely than not, a lot of them are. Because again, they are able to make more money from the surgery, right? It's more convenient for them. And it's just overall easier in every sense of the word. They don't want to have to say, oh, how's she doing now? How far is she dilated? You know, are you making sure that she's walking, or whatever it is that you need to do to help you deliver the baby? They don't want to have to do any of that. So they plan the C-section and say, this is what's going to happen and when. And if you don't know any better, you just say, okay. Well, you don't have to say okay. It is your body and it is your choice. And if you want to do things in a more natural and holistic way, there's certainly the option for you to do so. but you have to find the type of provider that practices in that manner, if that makes sense. So also, it is a great idea to have a chiropractor or a massage therapist, right? Because they are also able to partner with you on the journey. Will they be with you when you're delivering? No, but they are there, and they are another source of information due to their level of expertise. They can also help you through the process and tell you what you can and cannot do, what you need to look out for, and how you should respond in the event that something doesn't go your way. So try to find a midwife, find a doula, make sure that your birthing plan is what you want and express that to your midwife as well as your doula. But also keep in mind that if things become unsafe for you and baby, then of course they have to do what is necessary to save you both. But that is in the case of emergency or something goes wrong. It's not just, I don't feel like waking up in the middle of the night and assisting you in delivering this baby. If you can, have a home birth if that's something that you're comfortable with. If not a home birth, maybe a water birth. Find a hospital that offers that. And these are all questions and things that you can talk through with your midwife, because they have a lot of knowledge and this is their area of expertise. You have to remember that prior to us being able to, quote unquote, be treated equally, we used midwives because we weren't able to have that same level of care. And so today it should be no different, right? We really need to get back to focusing on our community as a whole and doing things that worked. Because if you haven't noticed, once we bought into their system, things have changed, and they have not been positive change by any means. So yes, let's go back to midwives, home births, water births, or whatever it is that you need to do to ensure that you are safe, you're heard, you're able to carry out your wishes as long as it is safe, and that your baby is safe, and you all are able to deliver successfully and thrive after that, right? We don't want to take away the benefits of natural childbirth, which is what the C-section does. And we also don't want to have to deal with the pain after the surgery, because it is excruciating, right? And it takes longer for the body to heal, because that's not natural. So keep that in mind as well. Also be open, right? Because you don't want to put yourself in a compromising situation. But what you do want to do is try your best to deliver naturally or deliver without being told what you need to do by the doctor, because they're lazy. So I hope that this information helps you. If you have any further questions, please feel free to reach out to me, because this is something that we have to stop seeing. It's a spiritual attack, not only on mom, but also on the baby. And hey, God is on our side, but we have to do our part, do our due diligence, and make sure that our voices are being heard, okay? So until next time, heal holistically, and I look forward to speaking with you soon. Bye.